I know what went wrong. It was obvious. We're willing to take it on and repair it the right way. You've got to feel confident in how your repair is done, right? So one of the things, the homeowner was willing, and I told him, I said, we don't know what's going on here until we bust this open. So when we busted everything open and demoed this wall, it was apparent that the bench in front of the wall was failing, and most importantly, the wall itself was failing because it was just a 6-inch wall. And now, most builders now, when they build pool spa combinations with a raised spa, it's always a 12-inch wall with a double steel curtain. And this is why, right? I rarely see these. This pool was probably built in the 90s, and that's how it was done back then. And now everybody's learned you don't do these 6-inch walls anymore. You go to a 12-inch wall with a double steel curtain. Yeah, they're forming this up, giving them something to shoot the shotcrete against, and then they'll shoot it against this wall and then trowel it, and it's going to be as good as new. We had our rebar guy come in. He doweled and epoxied in new rebar, used some of the existing rebar that wasn't rusted. Most of the rebar we had to cut out. Any rust we cut out, right? Any weakened rebar gets cut out. It was some of the steel that was existing. So anytime you can leave that, if the steel integrity is good, you can leave it and build on it. But if you look, here's a close-up right here. Okay, see how these 3 bars are all together? In fact, there's a 4th one back here.
Yeah.
That's wrong. You don't want to group bars together like that, because then you're going to get what's called shadowing. When the nozzleman is shooting this pool, he's not going to get adequate gunite around and behind all these bars grouped together. You want to be able to encapsulate all the rebar, and you can't do that when you group bars like this. Originally, whoever tied this steel, they didn't do a good job. So again, we cut out all the rusted rebar, doweled in with epoxy, some new rebar to solidify this structure. It's not, it's solid. This is a great repair here. And then that waterfall too. We're gonna demo that waterfall because there's a lot of movement going on there. You have this big hillside in back of the pool. Drainage was put in, French drains behind the pool, but it's a lot of pressure coming down from that hill. And really what happened was this spa dam wall ended up being a weak spot in this pool, because your bond beam continues around the pool and it goes around the back of the spa, and that's why this is all intact and okay. You had your weak spot here at only 6 inches, and not enough rebar going through this dam wall, so it failed. But now you have this, it's almost like a pinch point, and if you only got a 6-inch wall, it's gonna fail. Sooner or later, it's gonna fail. He's been repairing it the last 5 years with A&B putty, and it doesn't work. There's too much going on there. You can see how thick the grout is in the mortar. That's too much to ask for. You get any little movement in there and that mortar's gonna give and crack and break, and then water's gonna go down behind the bond beam and create more problems. If you go down, come over here. So you can see where on this wall, it was tile from here all the way down to here. Okay, and then this was plaster, pebble I should say, through here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take the tile all the way down to the top of the bench. So this will all be tiled. It'll look nice. Again, we will put a waterproof membrane on there of Hydroban, and then we'll re-pebble the inside of the spa with a white pebble that's gonna match the pool. Well, they've gotta shoot it and they've got to trowel it and shape it. It's going to probably take about less than a half hour, and then we'll recreate the spillway in the middle. And I like to keep my spillways narrow. The narrower the spillway, the better, the cleaner shear you get from the spa to the pool. Anytime you can do that, it's a good thing to prevent drooling down the face of the spa wall, because if you get that, you're going to get calcium buildup quicker.
Follow, like, and subscribe for more.